Welcome back, YouTube. We are back with some more theories. This time from Kyle Hill. Kyle Hill, I used to watch him back in the day. He would explain certain things and certain power sets of like characters in comics and or like movies. I think I remember the Thor one. But anyway, this is a theory on can arcane magic exist? Now, I do love Arcane, and I love theories like this where I remember one video when I was like 14, 15, or was it a bit later, probably 18, where it was explaining like how dragons could exist with like these certain rules and why we wouldn't have them around because their bones are hollow, they're very weak, so like they disintegrate. I just love theories like that. They're just out wild and wacky. Um, but yeah, hopefully this is a little bit better than that arcane theory from theory. Film theory was, let's just say it was just. If you watched it, you watched it. But before we get started, if you want to suggest me any videos, playlists, compilations, anything like that, consider joining my Discord in the description. There's a whole forum page for it where you can just suggest videos with tags, and hopefully I get around to making videos for them. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing if you're a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet. I'd love to hit 500 subs by the end of Christmas. Without further ado, I'm stuttering. Without any further ado, let's get going.
As a sci-fientist trademark, I
Just
like when
tripping over my
stories try to
words.
make magic work. How do you like that silver? Your ancestors called it magic, but you call it science. What do you mean? My mustache was never always never not there. The tension between magic and science is especially good in Arcane. The best thing about League of Legends, aside from it having no voice chat. But in stories like this, can magic and science ever truly
What was that joke? I think. Why aren't there any female League pro players? I'm generally curious on this topic so I can have a better understanding. I'd appreciate any girl from High Elo community replying to this or DMing me. Uh, yeah, there's just no girls in High Elo. That's just kidding. There's plenty of girls. There's girls in my friends list that are way better than me, man. And yeah, I'm just a soul scrub.
really good in Arcane. The best thing about League of Legends, aside from it having no voice chat.
No
But
voice
in
chat.
stories like this, can magic and science ever
Dude, League would change for both the worst for both the worst and the better if it had like proper voice chat, man. Like they do in Valorant.
truly coexist? Or is their compatibility not viable? Arya, stay off the
Okay,
microphone. You'll scare all the gamers away.
Now entering the facility.
I like the science of the magic in Arcane because it's basically an allegory for nuclear weapons. A few scientists find something incredibly powerful and world-changing, and they have to come to terms with that, as do the politicians. It's not the most revolutionary take in storytelling, but with animation this good, I don't care. Hextech is
I
where
guess it makes
magic...
sense. It makes sense. They had the same. You watch Oppenheimer. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it. I am very indifferent to that movie. Yeah, it's. I can see why people think it's a masterpiece, but I can see why people don't like it. I'm just like always, like with everything, I'm a filthy little fence sitter, man.
and science meet in the Arcaniverse. It's powered by hex crystals, which are little pieces of magically infused stuff that make for some truly amazingly animated fight scenes. However, in Arcane, the magic is in the crystals. In the real world, where is magic hiding? We will define magic here as some suspension of the natural order. Something is magical if it somehow upends, circumvents, or otherwise changes the known laws
Chris
of the
Angel, man.
universe for any amount of time.
Backflash, man. the Chris Angel stuff. Dan Dan Brown, I think his name is the Mentalist.
Most people believe in some sort of this suspension, whether that take the form of ghosts, spirits, demons, psychics, or astrology. Notice that these events or entities are almost always on the margins. Magical things only seem to occur in the dead of night, or
Yeah, it's. I guess one way to describe it is anything that science can't explain, we consider magical or spiritual.
alone, or in your own mind. In other words, magic isn't front and center in our lives like it is in Arcane. So again, if it does exist, where is it hiding?
And women love magic, magic and mystical things, man, spiritual things. I guess. What does that say about men and women? I don't know.
Though the universe is still incomprehensible in so many ways, dark matter, quantum gravity, how Tylenol actually works, scientists have done a pretty darn good job probing it. We've observed
joke
phenomena as
flew over my
small
head.
as
I don't
quantum
know what
tunnels
Tylenol
and
is.
as large as colliding black holes. We have measured radio signals as soft as falling snowflakes and gamma ray bursts as energetic as a billion Death Stars. What I'm getting at is that if magic does exist, if there are places where the natural order is suspended, there simply can't be that many of them. A graph like this shows this pretty well. Look at how much science spans. We have explored literally 100 octovigillion different energy regimes, and we have not found any hocus pocus abracadabra. I ask you, where is it? Handfire. That wasn't magic.
Oh.
I exploded something. Okay, but what if magic isn't like a weird energy thing and it's more like a weird matter thing? Well, here too, scientists have observed a wider range of stuff than you think. On these graphs of temperature and particle density, we can categorize everything from room temperature air to solids to fusion to stars. I ask again, where is the room for the otherworldly here? And remember, ectoplasm is not a state of matter.
What?
Okay.
But I saw Randy, he got caught up in a ghost thing when, yeah, just ectoplasm everywhere, man. That's crazy. What?
Yeah, but what if magic isn't like a weird matter thing
So
and it's
dumb.
more like a weird force thing? I think you know where I'm going with this. As far as we can tell, there are 4 fundamental
The
forces
Force? Okay, so Star Wars. Star Wars is magic.
in the
Okay.
universe. They dominate regimes as small as an atom and as large as the universe itself. In the hundreds of years since modern science has existed, we haven't observed anything that appears to add to this list. Of course, the counter-argument to all of this is that
I hate that every time we brought up a graph and like stuff with equations, I just felt dumber and dumber each time, man. That's
magic exists
terrible.
outside of everything that we have so far observed. The magic that allows you to accidentally kill your friends via monkey clap is just not on the radar for science. However, we don't exist in those unobservable realms, do we? We live in a so-called middle world, as Richard Dawkins once put it. In terms of energy and velocity and lifetime, we're not very big, and we don't go very fast, and we don't live very long. If magic truly exists in our realm, it should be very easy to observe it. You shouldn't have to imagine dragons, so to speak. It should be really obvious.
Everyone wants to be their enemy.
I gotta be honest, Arya, after hearing it that many times, I kind of like it now. Not that much. But, now, don't get me wrong. I would love a pair of gauntlets that somehow...
The first season was fire with it. I just don't like the song. I don't really like Imagine Dragons, man.
got lighter and more powerful once you turn them on. I think if you could traverse time and space instantaneously, it would revolutionize pretty much everything. The real problem with magic, aside from the fact that it doesn't seem to be anywhere that we can observe with science, is that it's inconsistent. What allows the process of science to be so powerful is that the laws of physics are invariant, or they don't change.
True.
If they did, some scientist born in a different time and place could, for example, find...
Was that, some people believe in chaos theory? I'm just throwing this out there. I don't know exactly what chaos theory is, but just from the name, it's like I'm gonna look
that
stupid. Let's
Newton's
just go.
laws of motion no longer apply where they are. But that's never happened. The laws of physics are time invariant, the same across time, translationally invariant, the same across space, and rotationally invariant, the same no matter which direction you're facing. Emmy Noether, described by Einstein as the most important woman in the history of mathematics, took this invariance and further proved that if the laws of physics hold in this way, then energy, momentum, and angular momentum must be conserved, respectively. Magic is not invariant. It does different things at different times and places. Magic is not conserved. Energy and matter appear from nothing. So, for magic to be possible in the real world, the laws of physics would have to break not once, but twice. First in conservation, and then in variance. Needless to say, we don't have any good evidence that this fundamental suspension of the natural order has ever happened.
Oh, yeah? What about that time when you got to host a Mythbusters show?
Yeah, I honestly don't know how that happened. Can still get into premieres, though. Woo!
When you talk about like creating matter out, create something out of nothing, I was thinking of like alchemy from Full Metal Alchemist. What about like equivalent exchange? Is that considered magic? I guess not, since alchemy is considered just creating something, right? Out of stuff.
But Kyle, if
It is some sort of science.
magic can't exist in our real world, can we still make it work in the Arcaneverse world? First of all, fun voice, no notes. Second of all, sure, why not? Hextech is powered by so-called hex crystals, which are magic-infused, extremely energy-dense, volatile little pieces of stuff. The first thing that I think of when I think of hex is similar. Extremely energy-dense, extremely dangerous, and the
Uranium.
rarest substance ever created. Antimatter.
Even rarer
Antimatter.
than a non-toxic League of Legends game?
Even rarer than that. In theory, antimatter is the ultimate source of energy. This oppositely charged matter completely annihilates when it comes into contact with regular matter and releases energy according to Einstein's equation E equals mc squared. As you can see, any amount of mass is going to lead to a lot of energy because the speed of light squared is a colossal number. For example, if the crystals that Powder finds in Arcane Season 1 were in fact antimatter, then each one of those little things would have the ability to turn Piltover into a crater, literally this size. No wonder little mustache dude was so afraid of them. Oh, Jace, I don't know if the magic and the science can...
No, that's actually a good voice.
In terms of raw...
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Hearing about like antimatter, it's just what? Like you just learn that science is a rule of the universe. It's laws of the universe, and it doesn't change. And then all of a sudden, yeah, yeah, the universe just shows up and goes, "Hold my beer. Let me just change everything."
energy density. Antimatter is the most powerful energy source in the universe. That power comes with a price. Just like in Arcane, antimatter is completely unstable, in that it will annihilate if it comes into contact with regular matter. Anything, even the atoms in the air. Scientists can create it, but they have a hard time keeping it around. The current record is held by CERN, 405 days of antiprotons contained in a so-called penning trap. This is a device that keeps charged antiparticles in place with electromagnetic fields at near absolute zero and in high vacuum, so that the particles don't annihilate with the matter in the walls of the trap or anything inside.
Okay, dude. Okay, man. Does anyone remember that whole particle accelerator scare where like people were trying to find the god particle and then there was all news about like, dude, these guys are gonna blow up the world. From the little that I know from antimatter, which I've just learned now from this video, why why are we playing with this stuff, man? I think playing with like uh radioactive materials is a bit too much, but this is this antimatter is this is wild that scientists just play with stuff like this. That's just crazy. There was a whole thing in like Oppenheimer where like they feared like the whole world, like the atmosphere just catching fire from the reaction of the atomic bombs. I wonder what they fear playing around with this stuff. Is it like small enough to where like if something did happen, it's not going to be too much energy that gets released? And I'm hoping they have this in like not a populated area. Hopefully, man.
We've only been
Somewhere
able to do this with
underground.
just a handful of particles, though. Nothing you'd be able to
Okay, just a handful of particles. Okay.
see or indeed hold in your hand. Still, antimatter is the closest thing that we know of to hex. Totally unstable, unbelievably powerful.
I'm assuming as soon as we figure out antimatter and get it stable enough, bro, then we're gonna spread like a disease across the across our solar system and our galaxy. I probably guarantee that, man. That's probably why there's so many scientists researching this. Scary stuff, man. Sometimes I wish I was born later during uh the human era on like the universe. I just want to see other things, man. gives gives me FOMO, man. I'm born in this era where like I could be seeing like other planets.
Kind of like magic.
Sad times.
At the end of the day, though, the non-magical thing that hextech is doing is providing near unlimited energy from a very small energy source. We already have that. It's
Oh
called
boy, here it comes.
nuclear power. Nuclear power plants are very large facilities like hex gates in Arcane, but the power source is even smaller than hex crystals. Look at these little uranium fuel pellets. That's where we get nuclear power from. Just these little things. The amount of energy that you can get from just one uranium fuel pellet across its lifetime of fission is equivalent to burning 120 gallons of oil or 1,000 kilograms of coal. All that just from this
Jeez.
little thing. And a lot of physics and engineering. It's not magic. That's science, baby.
Bro, I was gonna say like why do people like fight against nuclear power plants when but then I realized the people who are fighting against it they have some vested like they have some investments in like gas or coal or like fracking mines. So obviously they want to keep that. But that's just crazy, man.
What about shimmer, that chemical in Arcane that makes people all crazy?
Oh, that's an easy one, Arya. Those are drugs. Drugs can make you do that. Stay in school, kids. Until next time.
Now exiting the facility.
Thank you so much to the very nerdy members of the facility for their direct and substantial support in the creation of this here video.
It's just nuclear energy. I kind of guessed it would be, but damn, I thought it'd be something like something crazy they found in science that can't be explained as of yet. So there's theories around it, but oh well. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Discord is in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I need to stop stuttering, man. See ya. I'm ESL.